Major weather alert, historic storms pound North America January 4th, 2026 breaking weather update for the United States and Canada. Good day, weather watchers. This is Sky Alert USA bringing you critical weather updates as North America faces one of the most significant meteorological events of early 2026. Today, January 4th, multiple severe weather systems are converging across the continent, creating dangerous conditions from coast to coast. This comprehensive report will detail the current weather crisis, provide three-day forecasts, and outline the catastrophic warnings issued by meteorological agencies across both nations. California flooding crisis, immediate danger. The West Coast is currently experiencing what meteorologists are calling an atmospheric river event of historic proportions. Northern and Central California are bearing the brunt of this powerful Pacific storm system, which began its devastating assault on New Year's Day and continues to intensify through this weekend. As of today, the National Weather Service has issued flood watches extending from the California coast through Monday afternoon, covering vast portions of the Golden State. The situation is particularly dire in Northern California, where rainfall totals are already reaching alarming levels. San Diego experienced over 2 inches of rain on January 1st alone, ranking among the 15 rainiest days on record for the region. The San Diego River overflowed its banks, submerging vehicles in Mission Valley and requiring multiple water rescues by emergency personnel. Current radar analysis shows heavy precipitation bands continuing to rotate through the Sacramento Valley, the Bay Area, and coastal regions. Rainfall accumulations of 2 to 4 inches are forecast along most of the California coast north of Los Angeles through Monday evening. However, the most concerning figures emerge from the Sierra Nevada foothills, where 4 to 8 inches of rain are predicted, with AccuWeather's local storm max projecting up to 12 inches in isolated locations. The Bay Area is facing a compounding crisis as king tides coincide with storm surge, prompting the National Weather Service to issue coastal flood warnings for San Francisco Bay through Saturday afternoon. In Marin County, neighborhoods have already experienced significant inundation, with floodwaters forcing evacuations and road closures. The combination of astronomical high tides and storm-driven water levels creates a perfect storm scenario for coastal communities. Severe thunderstorms remain a significant threat throughout today and into Sunday morning. The Storm Prediction Center has designated a Level 1 out of 5 severe weather risk for Northern California and Southern Oregon. These storms carry the potential for damaging wind gusts, small hail, and even brief tornadoes. The atmospheric ingredients are aligned for intense convective activity, with powerful updrafts capable of producing dangerous lightning and localized flash flooding. Sierra Nevada mountain crisis, whiteout conditions. While valleys flood, the mountains face their own catastrophic weather event. A winter storm warning remains in effect for the Sierra Nevada range through Monday afternoon, with the National Weather Service forecasting near-whiteout conditions and life-threatening travel situations. Snow levels, which began around 6,000 feet elevation, are dropping precipitously. By Sunday, the snow line will descend to 5,000 feet and potentially as low as 4,500 feet in the northern Sierra by early next week. This dramatic shift means that major transportation corridors, including Interstate 80 over Donner Pass, will experience extreme winter conditions. Snowfall projections are staggering. 2 to 4 feet of accumulation is forecast for elevations above 5,000 feet, with higher totals exceeding 4 feet at the highest peaks. Mountain ranges throughout California, from the Cascades in the north to the southern Sierra, will see significant snow accumulation. Road maintenance crews are expected to struggle keeping pace with snowfall rates that could reach several inches per hour during peak intensity periods. Donner Pass, a critical east-west transportation link, faces likely closure as snow depths become unmanageable. Wind gusts combining with heavy snowfall will create hazardous whiteout conditions, reducing visibility to near zero and making travel not just difficult, but genuinely life-threatening. Authorities strongly discourage all non-essential mountain travel during this period. Polar vortex disruption, Arctic invasion. While the West bows water and snow, the central and eastern portions of North America are locked in the grip of a significant Arctic outbreak. This cold surge is not a random weather fluctuation but rather the result of a major stratospheric event that is reshaping winter weather patterns across the hemisphere. Meteorologists have detected a stratospheric sudden warming event occurring in the upper atmosphere, approximately 12 miles above Earth's surface. This phenomenon has caused a disruption of the polar vortex, the massive low-pressure system that normally contains Arctic air over the polar regions. When the polar vortex weakens or splits, as it has done recently, it allows frigid air masses to spill southward into mid-latitude regions. The current pattern shows a detached core of the polar vortex positioned directly over North America, creating a direct corridor for Arctic air transport from northern Canada into the United States. Temperature anomalies reveal air masses that are 10 to 20 degrees Celsius below normal for early January, sweeping across vast regions. Canada is experiencing the most extreme conditions, with temperatures plummeting well below seasonal averages across southern and eastern provinces. The temperature forecast shows particularly harsh conditions affecting Ontario, Quebec, and the Maritime provinces, where residents face daily high temperatures struggling to reach -10 degrees Celsius, with overnight lows approaching -20 degrees Celsius in many locations. Midwest and Great Lakes winter siege. The upper Midwest and Great Lakes region are experiencing a relentless parade of clipper storms, small but potent low-pressure systems that track rapidly across the region, each bringing fresh snowfall and reinforcing the Arctic air mass. This weekend marks the continuation of what has become a nearly constant snow event for many communities. Lake-effect snow has been particularly aggressive, with the Great Lakes acting as massive moisture generators. Cold Arctic air moving over the relatively warmer lake waters picks up tremendous amounts of moisture, which then falls as intense, localized snowfall bands downwind of each lake. The Upper Peninsula of Michigan recorded over 2 feet of snow on December 29, with similar totals reported in western New York and northeastern Ohio. A significant clipper system is currently tracking through the region, with snowfall expected from northern Minnesota through the Great Lakes and into the interior Northeast. This particular storm features a more substantial precipitation shield than recent clippers, with accumulations of 3 to 8 inches forecast across a broad area from the southwestern shores of Lake Superior to the Michigan-Wisconsin border. The local storm max for this event reaches 12 inches in the heaviest bands. Complicating matters further, a zone from northern Minnesota through southern Wisconsin may experience a dangerous glaze of freezing rain as warmer air attempts to override the stubborn cold surface layer. Even minor ice accumulation can create treacherous conditions for motorists and pedestrians, making this a particularly hazardous storm for the morning commute on Monday. Northeast weather challenges. The Northeast is not spared from winter's fury. Upstate New York and New England continue to see repeated snow events, with each clipper storm adding to already substantial snow depths. Northern Pennsylvania through Vermont and New Hampshire face a new round of accumulating snow through Monday, enough to create slippery road conditions and challenging travel situations. Cities across the region are dealing with persistent cold that has settled in for an extended stay. Boston, New York City, Philadelphia, and Washington, D.C. are all experiencing temperatures well below seasonal norms, with daytime readings in the 20s and 30s Fahrenheit becoming the standard rather than the exception. The combination of frequent snow and persistent cold is creating excellent conditions for winter sports enthusiasts, with ski resorts across the Northeast reporting excellent base depths and consistent conditions. However, for the general population, the repeated need for snow removal, dangerous driving conditions, and strain on heating systems presents ongoing challenges. 3-day forecast breakdown Sunday, January 5th. California continues under siege with heavy rain and mountain snow. The cold front pushes through northern and central regions during the morning hours, bringing the most intense rainfall rates. Flash flooding remains a significant concern, particularly in areas already saturated from previous storms. In the Sierra Nevada, snowfall rates will be extreme, with several inches per hour possible at peak intensity. The Midwest sees the Clipper storm system push eastward, bringing widespread snow from the Great Lakes into the interior Northeast. Temperatures remain bitterly cold across eastern Canada and the northern United States, with Arctic air firmly in place. Monday, January 6th. The California storm system finally begins to weaken, with precipitation gradually tapering off from north to south. However, total rainfall accumulations by this point will have reached critically high levels, with continued flooding concerns even as rain diminishes. Mountain snowfall continues but at reduced rates as the main system moves inland. The Midwest storm completes its trek eastward, affecting the Northeast with accumulating snow through Monday night. Behind this system, a brief warming trend begins to creep into the central United States, though temperatures will remain below normal even with this modification. Lake effect snow continues downwind of the Great Lakes. Tuesday, January 7th. A much-needed break arrives for California, with high pressure building in and bringing the first dry weather in days. Cleanup and recovery operations will begin in earnest, though swollen rivers and saturated soils will maintain flood concerns for several more days. The pattern across the eastern United States begins a transition toward less extreme cold, though Arctic air will be slow to retreat from eastern Canada. Additional snow remains possible in lake effect zones, but the parade of clipper storms shows signs of ending as the upper-level pattern shifts. Catastrophic warning alerts. Several regions face particularly dangerous conditions requiring immediate attention. California flood emergency, the combination of already saturated soils, continued heavy rainfall, and rapid snowmelt potential creates an extremely dangerous flooding scenario. Residents in flood-prone areas should have evacuation plans ready and heed all warnings from local authorities. Flash flooding can occur with little warning, and attempting to drive through flooded roadways has already led to multiple rescues. Sierra Nevada travel ban. All non-essential travel over the Sierra Nevada should be avoided. Whiteout conditions, road closures, and the potential to become stranded in life-threatening conditions make mountain travel extremely hazardous. Several feet of snow combined with wind gusts exceeding 50 miles per hour create survival situations for those caught unprepared. Arctic exposure danger. Across the northern plains, upper Midwest, and southern Canada, wind chill values are reaching dangerous levels. Frostbite can occur on exposed skin in as little as 10 minutes under these conditions. Proper cold weather gear is essential for anyone venturing outdoors, and vulnerable populations including the homeless and elderly face serious risks. Ice storm threat. The freezing rain potential across portions of Wisconsin and Minnesota poses significant dangers. Even light ice accumulation creates treacherous driving conditions and can lead to power outages as ice loads stress electrical infrastructure. Looking ahead, January outlook. Extended range forecast models suggest that January 2026 may prove to be one of the most active winter months in recent memory for North America. The polar vortex disruption is expected to maintain influence over weather patterns for at least the next 2 to 3 weeks, keeping the door open for continued Arctic air intrusions. Climate prediction models indicate that while brief warm-ups may occur, particularly across the southern and western United States, the overall pattern favors below normal temperatures across much of Canada and the northern United States through mid-month. Additional snow events remain likely for the Great Lakes and Northeast regions. For the West Coast, while the current storm system will move on, the active Pacific jet stream pattern suggests additional systems will target the region later in January. Residents should use any breaks in the weather to prepare for potential future storms. The combination of a weakening La Niña pattern, ongoing stratospheric warming, and favorable atmospheric alignment creates elevated risk for high-impact weather events throughout January. This includes not just cold and snow, but also the potential for severe weather outbreaks in more southern regions as contrasting air masses collide. Critical safety reminders. During these dangerous weather conditions, remember these life-saving guidelines: never attempt to drive through flooded roadways, turn around, don't drown. Avoid all unnecessary mountain travel during winter storm warnings. Dress in layers and cover all exposed skin when venturing into extreme cold. Keep emergency supplies in vehicles including blankets, food, water, and phone chargers. Monitor local weather forecasts and warnings continuously. Have multiple ways to receive emergency alerts. Check on elderly neighbors and vulnerable community members. Stay safe, stay informed, and stay tuned to Sky Alert USA for continued coverage of the significant weather event. This is a developing situation, and conditions can change rapidly. We will continue to monitor all systems and provide updates as this historic weather event unfolds across North America.